Waypoint 25 and 26, Natural Arches Trail and Charlie Spring Trail. Okay, very few directions for this trail. The directions are cross under the road, which I'm doing right now, and follow the wash until it ends at Charlie Spring. And then there's a warning. The trail is not marked. So we're gonna just see where we end up. And if we actually do find Charlie Spring, it's about it's over 5 miles. So let's check this out and see where we end up. Here we go. And here's the tunnel under the road we just passed through. So, looks like there's some kind of a spring here. So we'll follow this wash till it ends in Charlie Spring. Just follow the water. Maybe that'll do it. Okay, and the 360-degree view. By the way, we haven't gone very far. There is the beast at the trailhead. There is water in the spring, or in the wash. So we're going to follow that water, see where it leads. Here we go. Well, trails are seldom as easy as they sound, but this one sounds easy at least. Follow the spring. Follow the water till you reach Charlie Spring. So here we go. Let's see if it's as easy as it sounds. Evidence of horses taking this trail. If horses can make this trail, then so can I. And here's a 360-degree view looking back toward the memorial for John J. Clark, who died here by his wagon, evidently ran out of water back in the around 1915. He was taking the old Arrowhead Trail. So that should be a warning for us all. Okay, onward we go. Well, just my luck, the horses have left this wash. I hope that's not a bad sign. Anyway, here we go without horse help. Continuing on down the wash towards Charlie Spring. And by the way, the surface is deep sand. So prepare to empty your shoes a number of times and to wade through deep and sometimes wet sand as you head toward Charlie Spring. Well, the wash is widening out. And since washes tend to split and go in lots of different directions, I'm keeping my policy of having a frame of reference. And my frame of reference to get back is this rock formation right here. Pointy rock. And I head toward that and I will reach the trailhead. So this is the way I just came, and looking around, and here's where I'm headed. This is looking strangely like that area I was in on the old Arrowhead Trail just last week, and traverse through those red rocks up ahead. So things are going to start joining and splitting, and we're going to continue on. Here we go. Well, we're looking back along this wash, this very sandy wash. And as I suspected, washes tend to split and divide. And here is a larger wash. I'm going to continue down this wash and hope that's the correct direction. This, by the way, is pretty much the exact point I was at last week when I overshot the Arrowhead Trail and decided I'm going to just take off into these mountains and try to find Elephant Rock Loop. And I had no idea that, yes, I was probably on Charlie's Spring Trail at that moment, which continues down this wash, I think. We'll find out. So I'm going to just continue on till I think I have gone far enough. And then if I haven't found Charlie's Spring, I will turn around. I'm going to give myself, with the videos I'm taking and this deep sand, I'm going to give myself about 1 more hour before I turn around and head back. So hopefully we'll find Charlie's Spring. I expect that if it's like a lot of desert springs, there will be a pool and or a little pond and an oasis. That should be nice. So we will find out. Okay, looking back and looking forward, heading down this wash. And definitely if we hit the Overton arm of Lake Mead, we've gone too far. I don't expect to do that. Okay, here we go. Well, this is cool. These are my exact footprints from last week, as I decided I am heading down this wash too far on the old Arrowhead Trail. So I took off in this direction and entered the Red Rock Hills right at this point, and then traversed those hills over to Elephant Rock Loop. Today, though, we're heading down this wash with the thought that, hey, we're heading toward Charlie's Spring. So let's see if we actually are. And here's a 360-degree view. So we are exactly on the same route we were on last week on the old Arrowhead Trail when we got off track and kept heading down the wash. We didn't realize that this is potentially Charlie's Spring Trail. So here we go. Well, here are a couple huge chunks of rock that came down from the cliff walls up above. Maybe during a flash flood, who knows? But I'll let you know, if you're ever in a flash flood, stay away from the side because that is perhaps going to disintegrate and huge things fall upon you. And that will be your last experience of trail running or hiking. Okay, continuing on down. Well, the little creek here appears, flows for a little while, and then it disappears in the sand. So here's my theory, that this water continues to percolate. It is definitely running water. It continues to percolate through the sand, and it's going to come up at the spring. What do you think? Let's find out. As you can see, the spring has dried up again, However, I think we can trust that it is still flowing underneath us. So we're going to continue down the wash, which is actually in the other direction. Continuing down the wash. And by the way, it is sandy, yes, but last Saturday in January is today. Last Saturday in January. The sand is wet. Kind of like that perfect beach sand that you can run on. That's just the right combination of water and dryness and makes a nice little surface. And so this is much easier to navigate in January than probably in the middle of the summer, and it's cooler too. It's about 55, 60 degrees right now, and the high today is supposed to be around 70 at the most, more like 67, which makes this just a perfect route to go in the middle of the winter. But I don't know if I'd do this in the summer. Well, I spoke too soon when I said that it's a great surface for running on. And there is the great surface. That's behind us. Take a look at what's ahead now. We're entering into the Badlands. So we're going to now be navigating some lower areas. Here we go. Okay, it's breaking up even more. Now I'm entering into more of a canyon area. Beautiful rock around me. Some of it looks like it's all ready to just let go of the side. So we're not going to walk too close to the side, but you see I just came down that section over there. And so we're entering a semi-climb, scramble area in this Charlie's Spring Trail Canyon. Okay, give you a quick 360. I'd navigate along the top, which would be a lot easier, but I'm not sure that this may just get deeper and deeper, and if I was on top, I'd not be able to get back down, because look at how steep those walls are getting. Okay, onward. So the walls get steeper, and the echo gets louder. Here we are in this narrow canyon, Charlie's Spring Canyon. And here we are looking forward. Looks like it's widening out a little bit. That'll be nice. Look at this canyon. Wow. I did not expect to be seeing this. Very, very beautiful. How beautiful. This is where you end up if you head down the wash, overshooting the old Arrowhead Trail. Pretty amazing down here. Like a little mini Grand Canyon. So spectacular what water can do. This trail is definitely worth it. I'm glad I didn't travel on top, because I would have missed the canyon here. How totally amazing. Incredible. And then if you're on top, you just see the brown rock. You don't see what's going on underneath. Okay, onward. It's always good to look around and see what water has done. And this is about 15 feet up. You see that brush up there on the rock. It looks like that may have been a water level when, to get that brush up there. Wow, can you imagine 15 feet deep worth of water shooting through this canyon? Wow. That would have been quite the flood. The canyon continues, but looks like it's widening a bit. Here's a 360-degree view. Huge boulders crash down the side of this canyon. You can see large sections of the side crash down. As the water sweeps through. Fortunately, there's not a cloud in the sky. However, if there was a flash, if this were July, let's say, and there was a flash flood or a thunder downpour miles away, that could, we could be looking at a sunny day and then all of a sudden just inundated with the rushing water. So don't trust the sky. Can look perfectly blue and you end up swept away down the canyon. Here's the water reappearing, reminding us that there is water flowing under us the entire time here, and that will come out in a spring eventually. This whole experience reminds me of a story of how the Columbia Gorge in Oregon was formed. It was formed when a glacial ice dam in Canada broke and sent water shooting down through that area, and it carved out the entire Columbia Gorge. So things can happen distantly and really affect where you are standing. Okay, looking back, another balancing rock. Love the balancing rocks in this park. You're just hanging there in the middle of nowhere. How did that rock get there? Okay, onward. As I suspected, looks like we are either in or approaching an oasis here in the desert. Takes a lot of water to water a palm tree. Now we're heading through some deep grass. So if this is not an oasis or spring, I don't know what is. Yeah, I think the trail sign said that it doesn't let you know when you've arrived at your destination. So we'll continue on down a little further, but this definitely would qualify as a spring and an oasis. Look at all these plants that are supported by the water that flows through here. Okay, let's go onward a little bit more just to see if indeed this is Charlie's Spring, or if Charlie's Spring is a little bit further down. I'd say this is a good candidate for Charlie's Spring. And it's about time that we arrived at this spot. It's looking a lot more like a spring. There's the palm tree. Here's a little pond, which is exactly what we were expecting. So I'm going to call this Charlie's Spring. I'm going to continue. This is looking back. I'm going to continue down just a little bit further to scope out the area, but I believe that we are at Charlie's Spring right here. And this is the oasis we were expecting. Okay, I'm going to make a guess that I'm below Charlie's Spring. I've passed it, and the canyon is widening out. Definitely the water continues to flow. I'm hearing insects around me. But I do believe that was Charlie's Spring just a moment ago. So we're going to head back now. Time-wise, I think I've spent enough time on this route that should have been Charlie's Spring. I hope that there isn't something more beyond. It just draws you in, doesn't it? You just want to see like what's around that next bend up there. And I could end up all the way down at Lake Mead. But I'm going to turn around because I want to hit the natural arches trail and take a look at that also today. So back we go. Heading back now, but here's a little scene I missed earlier. This is that balancing rock But this is the other side. As I'd mentioned earlier, when we were going around the Balancing Rock in the Valley of Fire Park, look at these balancing rocks from different directions and you'll be amazed what appears. This is the opposite direction and looks so beautiful. We're just about back at our starting point from the Charlie's Spring adventure. And here we are, a quick look at John G. Clark and his memorial. Died of dehydration here in the desert in this spot back in 1915. And we are at the place where we crossed under the highway. So we have completed the Charlie's Spring Trail adventure. Now we're going to go for Natural Arches Trail. And we re-enter the tunnel. There's a little baby tunnel here too. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Inside the tunnel. It's like those near-death experiences where you see a light at the end of the tunnel. Must look somewhat like this. Oops. I almost saw that tunnel just then. Okay, back at our starting point.